is the biggest event in solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza that Germany has ever seen. It's not something many people would have imagined would be possible just a few years ago in a country that has historically been unconditionally supportive of Israel. So, how did we get here?
Excuse me, sorry. Are you guys German?
Yes, we are.
Do you have 5 seconds to answer a question about Gaza and how it's seen in Germany?
Oh no, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, no, we're like really in a hurry. No.
I don't hear anybody talking about Gaza.
I'm not into the topic, so I prefer to stay silent. Oh no, sorry.
As you can see, it's not easy to get people here to talk about this topic. For over a month now, we've been trying to find somebody who can tell us what it's like to be openly pro-Palestine in Germany. After a lot of rejections and closed doors, we're finally about to meet somebody who agreed to answer our questions. But before we go talk to her, if you're new to our channel and are interested in videos like this one from all over Europe, make sure you subscribe. Saskia is a 25-year-old student. We're going to spend the first half of our day in Berlin with her at a pro-Palestine protest before heading to the concert that is happening right after.
I really understand why people don't want to be on camera to talk about this, because in Germany it's a very difficult subject and you can have a lot of repercussions for your positions. In Germany, protesting Israel can very easily get you called an anti-Semite or accusations of anti-Semitism when you are protesting the actions of a state. I think that I'm in a very privileged position. I have a German passport, first of all, so protesting can't really have an impact on my status here. I'm a student, so I don't really have a job to lose, I guess. And with family or friends, there's no personal repercussions that I would be fearing. I think it's important to be here today, but it's also in general important to support Palestine and to support Gaza, especially in Germany, because our government is complicit in what is happening in Gaza right now.
That's a recurring theme with all of the people we've spoken to during this protest. They blame the German government for inaction in the face of what a UN Commission of Inquiry has defined as the genocide of Palestinians in Gaza, and of complicity with the Israeli government that is perpetuating atrocities against civilians and blocking humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. And it's not an unpopular opinion. Recent polls show that 62% of Germans believe that what is happening in Gaza amounts to genocide, and more than half of Germans are in favor of the recognition of the State of Palestine.
Even if you don't really know a lot about it, even if you don't know about the history or anything, just seeing pictures of dead children, of starving children, not just children, also adults, almost every single day, I think should make you feel that something is going on that's very, very wrong.
Protesters have multiple demands of the German government, amongst them accepting proposed EU-level sanctions and tariffs targeting Israel, sanctions that countries like Spain and Belgium have already started imposing unilaterally, and more symbolic actions like recognizing Palestinian statehood, something that multiple European countries have already done.
The United Kingdom.
La France reconnaît aujourd'hui l'État de Palestine.
Despite this, the German government has, for the most part, refused to condemn Israel's actions in Gaza. Until recently, they were still approving new shipments of military equipment and weapons of war to Israel, and they are currently still providing pre-approved military exports to the Israeli government. On top of this, a lot of pro-Palestine events have been heavily policed, especially in Berlin, where protesters have been routinely dragged away with their eyes and mouths covered, or arrested for chanting banned slogans, or for chanting slogans that were not in German, such as in Arabic, Irish, Yiddish, and Hebrew. Saskia herself told us of an event that marked her when she was visiting a friend that was participating in the occupation of the Freie Universität in Berlin. When police entered the building, she immediately started filming. The situation escalated quickly when one of the protesters was violently arrested.
And then they went on this guy, several police officers, and dragged him outside, and there was just at least 3 people sitting on top of him. And then afterwards the crowd was obviously very upset about this and tried to push on the door. And to get us to go away from the door, they sprayed pepper spray into the building. And so for me, that was kind of a radicalizing moment where I was seeing like, this is really, really violent for just students that are sitting on a lawn at the university.
So if so much of the population is supportive of Palestinians in Gaza and demanding accountability for the Israeli government, why is the German government so reluctant to show strong opposition to Israel? A lot of it comes down to guilt, specifically Kollektivschuld, the collective guilt that Germany and its people feel for perpetrating the Holocaust during World War II. It is this feeling of guilt and the efforts that followed the war to confront and memorialize these crimes that led to a promise to protect the Jewish population at all costs. In 1948, the State of Israel was created on Palestinian soil. Supporting the state gradually solidified into one of the pillars of German statehood. Germany saw its commitment to Israel as an extension or replacement of its commitment to supporting Jewish life. Many politicians, like former Chancellors Angela Merkel and Olaf Scholz, have called the security of Israel Germany's reason of state. Because of this policy, since diplomatic ties between Germany and Israel were officially established in 1965, anything that might call into question the actions of Israel, especially when it comes to its security, has often been hard to criticize for the German government. A lot of the signs that we saw during the protest reference this, questioning whether historical guilt can be an excuse for ignoring Israel's crimes.
I mean, we have humanitarian law for a reason. We came up with this stuff because of especially German history, and now we are not listening to it at all, and we are not complying with it at all.
What Saskia is referring to here is the creation of modern international humanitarian law, much of it defined by the 1949 Geneva Convention, written after the atrocities of World War II were exposed. These laws regulate the conduct of combatants during conflict and guarantee certain rights to prisoners of war and civilians. Rights that Israel has been accused of disregarding by multiple reports of targeted and deliberate civilian killings and the obstruction of essential medical and humanitarian aid.
Die internationale Solidarität! Hoch die internationale Solidarität!
I think that the past 2 years has made some people change their minds. It's very extreme to kind of think that what is happening now is still justifiable in some way.
This view is becoming increasingly common. Despite this, a variety of opinions still exist, as became clear when we came across a counter-protest by supporters of Israel.
Pro-Palestine supporters are reacting and shouting slogans like "Shame on you" and "Free Palestine."
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
I'm here because I think this is the right thing to do, because this is a democracy in the Middle East and we have still hostages that should be home by now. It's been 2 years, it's time.
And what they are telling are pure lies. There's no genocide, there's no starving, and the Israeli IDF, the army of Israel, is the most human army in the world.
How do you feel about them being here?
I don't understand them.
We're at the end of the protest. Behind me you can see one of the symbols of Berlin, the Column of Victory, and on the other side the concert is just starting. That's where most of the action will be happening tonight, with artists and speakers filling up the stage till late. All of the artists participating in the concerts openly support Palestinians in Gaza, so we're going to take a look backstage to speak to one of them.
Antifuchs is a 36-year-old German rapper. She often participates in political events that support social causes, but this is her first time performing at a pro-Palestine event.
Ich wurde angefragt für das Konzert und ich habe da also nicht wirklich drüber nachgedacht. Für mich war es klar, dass ich da meine Unterstützung zeigen möchte, dass ich eben ich stehe für Menschenrechte und ich glaube, jeder, der heute hier ist, genauso. Und das war für mich gar keine Frage, ob ich das irgendwie unterstütze.
Und ich finde, es gibt genug Dunkelheit hier auf der Welt. Ich finde, wir sollten den ganzen Menschen ein bisschen Hoffnung und ein bisschen Licht spenden. Wunderschön. Das ist so schön, Leute.
Ich halte es auch für falsch, irgendwie als privilegierte weiße Frau irgendwie da nicht meinen Mund aufzumachen. Ich habe viele Privilegien und viele Menschen, die haben das nicht. Ich glaube, gerade da ist es wichtig, dass wir Künstler eben unseren Mund aufmachen. Und wie ich vorhin schon gesagt habe, ich glaube halt, dass gerade weil immer mehr Künstler und Menschen des öffentlichen Lebens ihren Mund aufmachen, auch viele Menschen aus der Gesellschaft sich trauen, den Mund aufzumachen oder überhaupt mit dem Thema auseinandersetzen.
Mir ist scheißegal, ob der Faschismus regiert, solange es sich noch rentiert. Alexa, Antikapitalista, ich sag okay, Google doch, nichts ist okay.
In a country where official state discourse has often made talking about Gaza feel unsafe, where people censor themselves out of fear of losing jobs, residency status, friends and family just for speaking to journalists like us, seeing public figures, politicians and artists openly and loudly support Palestinians can make a big difference in encouraging people to freely express their opinion.
Seeing and hearing artists and public figures talk about the genocide in Gaza. It's long overdue for all these people. They have a public eye, they have a function to lead the people, to express public opinion. And seeing people in the public sphere finally opening up and talking about the genocide in Gaza also empowers the normal people to finally be able to voice their concerns.
If we think about the size of this concert, even 2 years ago, something like this probably would not have been imaginable. The organizers just told us that probably more than 100,000 people are in attendance, and even police estimates that about 60,000 people are participating in this event. Both of these numbers are unprecedented for an event held in support of Palestinians in Gaza in Germany.
Despite this, activists who have been organizing and protesting for 2 years or even longer are frustrated. As one of them told us, okay, there may have been 100,000 protesters, but it has come far too late. For months, political parties across the spectrum have not been taking strong stances against the crimes that Israel has been committing in Gaza. The 27th of September, when we were filming in Berlin, was the first time Die Linke, a left-wing party that is part of the current parliament, officially joined the protest. The fact that no political party dared speak out against Israel for such a long time contributed to paralyzing the public debate around Gaza. One of the first indications that this was finally going to change was Chancellor Merz's announcement in August 2025 that Germany would no longer issue licenses for weapons clearly usable in Gaza. A researcher we spoke to, Leandros Fischer, compared it to the breaking of a dam, after which people started to feel like they could more openly talk about what is happening in Gaza.
Germany try to maybe wash their guiltiness from the Holocaust to support Israel. But the wind is changing. It's not a taboo anymore. So because you can see the crowd here over there, more and more people just raise their voice. They are going into the streets and demonstrate for the people of Gaza and the people of Palestine.
After a ceasefire in Gaza was agreed upon and ratified on the 9th of October, Merz pledged 29 million euros in humanitarian aid to Gaza, and later attended the signing of the Gaza Summit in Egypt with other world leaders. Meanwhile, the NGOs who organized the All Eyes on Gaza event we reported on the 27th of September say civil society must continue to mobilize. On October 9th, Amnesty Germany wrote that today brings some hope, but also asked what will tomorrow look like, underlining that the suffering of many of those affected, especially the Palestinians in Gaza, will not end overnight.
J'ai été